change the M4, you need 6.5 liters of BMW 530. You need a factory oil filter that comes with a little gasket for it, and a little tiny O-ring. And you also need a specialized filter cap removal piece, which is gigantic, and I definitely don't recommend trying to jury rig it. If you do notice, pay special attention, because now BMW sells the oil in liters as opposed to quarts, and the big reason they did that is they went from castor oil to now Pennzoil is now the supplier for BMW. As there's a lot of cooling ducts and such right here where you pull the oil filter housing out, I'm going to cram a bunch of paper towels down here so we don't drop hot engine oil down into the alternator and all kinds of stuff that is going to really burn your oil, and your car's going to smell awful if you get oil down in there. So that's what draping out that oil filter. So once you get this oil filter housing piece on there, it just shouldn't be on real tight. In fact, torque spec for it is 25 Newton meters, and just slowly loosen it up here. Just looking down in this far angle to make sure that I got paper towels. So we'll see if the oil filter comes out with it or not. And it does, and I like to shake it a little bit, get as much oil out of there back down in as possible. And you can see the two gaskets that need to be removed, the one on the very bottom tip, and then one of course around the top of the oil filter housing. So what I'm doing here is just removing the excess oil out of the oil filter housing. Don't really need to do this unless you have bad obsessive compulsive disease. Alright, so this is an 8mm hex, and if you tell, the torque spec's not very high at all on this, and so I got an extension on this so I hopefully don't burn myself too much, because the oil's about 200 degrees. And here it's starting to come. And it's got myself. Wow, that drains fast. That is insane how fast that is draining. I have never seen a car drain oil like that. That fast. Well, it looks like most of it's drained, so I'm going to slip the 8mm drain plug back in here. Alright, so this is an aluminum plug on an aluminum pan. So obviously it's not going to, torque spec's not real high, just right there is plenty. And then it's time to drop it and fill it up. Alright, so I'm going to take off the gasket around the oil filter housing now. I slipped a little screwdriver under there, and I just run it around the edge, and then you can just pop it off. Then you do a very similar thing with this little tiny piece, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to pop it off, so I won't torture you with that. If the new one's on, you need to make sure you put a little bit of oil around the edges so that you get a good seal, and so they're not going to leak.
That's right. Doctor.
There's that one, and then lube this one a little bit and just slip over the top. Finally, you take your factory oil filter, cram it down in your housing, make sure it seats, and then we'll go screw it in and torque it down to 25 newton meters. So I like to hand tighten it as much as I can before I actually put the tool on it. So it hasn't got engaged, so it's not ready to be torqued yet, but right about there. And then we'll grab the torque wrench. So you want to get it to just where it clicks. I like to use a funnel when I'm pouring the oil, just because I don't want to really put oil where I don't want it, which would be down the engine valve cover gasket, and then you'd get a lot of smoke when you start your car up. So that's one, and we got 5.5 of these left to go. So this is the 7th liter. You have to really be careful, because now these are being sold in the US as liters instead of quarts. And I'm used to 6.9 quarts for most BMW 6-cylinders, like the N52, but now this is 6.5 liters. So you got to make sure that you only use about half of this when you fill it up, and then you're going to get the right amount in the car. At 500. And there we go. I don't know if you can see that or not. The oil fill level right there is at 0.5 liters, so it should be right on the money. So we'll put the cap on it, start it up. So the one thing that I've noticed with changing the oil in the M4 is that the engine oil temperature comes up to temperature much faster than the E92 M3 oil temperature.